What's up, YouTube? What's going on, CCI family? It's your main man back with the game plan once again because, well, you already know I can't leave you out there too long without that information or that education. You feel me? So today we're talking about Archer Aviation. You remember them. Archer Aviation is a company that's been beaten down in the stock market, but actually it's getting closer to one of the biggest milestones in aviation history that there's ever been. Okay? The stock is under pressure, but the fundamentals are stronger than people realize. And with the Olympics coming up, Archer has a chance to step onto the world stage in a way that can completely change how investors see this company forever. Okay, so let's break it down to see what's happening, why the price is low, and why the next 1 to 2 years could be the most important in Archer's history. All right, so for those of you who don't know, Archer Aviation is a company that builds electric aircrafts, okay, designed for short, fast trips across different cities. All right, think of it like an air taxi, okay, that takes off vertically though, okay, flies real quiet and lands without needing a runway. So their aircraft called Midnight is built to carry passengers safely, quickly, and with almost no noise at all, okay? If you look on YouTube for Archer Midnight series, you'll see exactly what it is. And I'm also going to play a piece for you. All right. Now for beginners, the easiest way to think about this is it's the next evolution in like Uber. Okay. But it's in the sky. Point blank. Okay. And the reason that it matters is because cities are getting more crowded. You see it every day now, okay? And the world is looking for a cleaner, faster way to move the people. So now let's address the elephant in the room, right? The stock price, okay? Archer is under $6 right now because they're still in pre-revenue phase, all right? They're spending money, not making it really yet, okay? That's normal for an aerospace company before certification though, all right? Now, they have yet to get that last certification, but they're in the process for it, so don't even worry about it. The market doesn't like waiting, so it punishes companies that are still building, okay? But none of this means the business is failing at all. Remember, if nothing's changed about the business, then nothing's changed with your shares. You feel me? So it just means the timeline is a little bit longer. And most investors don't have patience, okay? That's where opportunity usually shows up. Now, even with the stock being down, Archer is actually one of the strongest positions ever right now, okay? They have over $1 billion in cash on hand. Partnerships with major players like United Airlines, NVIDIA, and they're working with the U.S. government on advanced aviation projects, okay? They're also building out manufacturing so they can scale once certification hits. And when you look at the fundamentals, not the stock price, this company is preparing for a real commercial operations. Now, for anyone that's new to aviation, the FAA certification process is basically the government saying, yes, the aircraft is safe to fly passengers. And this happens in kind of like stages, okay? Archer is now in the final stage, all right, where the FAA checks every system, every single thing, every safety feature, every flight test. This is the slowest part, but it's also the most important part because once they clear this, Archer can legally fly paying customers and it's over with, okay? And that's when the business model really finally turns into real revenue. Now, how close is Archer to the finish line? Closer than most people think, I'll tell you that, okay? They've already completed major testing. They're finishing conformity inspections, and they're preparing their factory production certification. So now Joby started earlier. You remember, Joby is the competition. Now, they started a little bit earlier, so they're ahead today, but Archer is closing the gap fast. And here's the key. If Archer avoids delays and Joby hits even a small snag, it's over with. Archer can actually pass them out, quick. Certification isn't a straight line. It is about who clears the next bottleneck first. Now let's talk about the Olympics, right? Because this is where things get exciting, okay? Archer is expected to be part of the transportation showcase during the games. That means global attention, government support, and massive spotlight on their technology, okay? Even if it's limited to flights or demonstrations, the message is the same. This is really happening, okay? And the world is going to be watching. Events like this can completely change how investors look at a company or value it. Now, remember, when a company gets showcased on a global scale like this, such as the Olympics, it creates something the market can't ignore, which is validation. You feel me? It tells investors that regulators, governments, and major partners trust the technology. And when you combine that with the timing of FAA certification, you get a moment where the narrative just flips. Okay, and instead of being seen as a speculative company anymore, Archer becomes a commercial aviation company. That's when the stocks start to re-rate, sometimes really dramatically. Now, before we look at how all of this plays out over the next couple years, I want to bring in Avette. You remember Avette? She's back. Just for a moment, she's been tracking like the broader market trends, okay, in the urban air mobility, and she's got a really clear way of explaining why this industry is growing so fast and why companies like Archer are positioned to benefit from it. Okay, so let me hand this over to her for a deeper look at the bigger picture and what investors should be paying attention to right now. Avette?
Thanks, Vince. One thing I want to highlight is how big the market opportunity is. Urban air mobility is projected to grow into a multi-billion-dollar industry over the next decade. Cities are already planning vertisports, airlines are preparing routes, and governments are pushing for cleaner transportation. Archer isn't just building an aircraft, they're building an entire ecosystem. And when you look at the partnerships they've secured, it's clear they're not doing this alone. Now, while I'm not giving financial advice, this is the kind of early-stage industry where some long-term investors choose to grow their position because they believe the company will be worth more once certification hits and commercial flights begin. When a company is early, undervalued, and approaching major milestones, that's often when people decide to lean in, not after the big headlines arrive.
All right, so at the end of the day, Archer's in a rare position. Okay, they're close to certification, they're tied to the Olympics, and they're building technology that could reshape how cities move altogether. You feel me? Now, yes, the stock is down today, but the story is far, far from over. Please believe me, do your research. Over the next 1 to 2 years, we're going to see if Archer becomes one of the leaders in this new industry. All right, and based on everything that we're seeing and the direction that they're heading into, this could be the most important chapter in their history. You feel me? So if you learned something today, please don't forget to like, consider subscribing, share with a friend, comment. You know all the details. And most importantly, have a blessed and financially successful week ahead, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.